everybody, and thanks for joining Stamp with Tracy for today's Well Wednesday. Today I want to show you a stamp set that I consider to be sort of a sleeper in the catalog. It's in the annual catalog, and it's on page 80, and it sells for $26, and it's called Supremely Awesome. I absolutely fell in love with this the minute I saw it. I grew up working in a sub shop. One of my favorite things to do was to make pizzas, and I knew that I needed to get my hands on it, and I'm so happy that I did. So I'm going to be showing you a couple of different cards I made today, but another thing that I wanted to show you today was some standalone dies. So we have many bundles in our catalog, and we also have what we call standalone dies. And our dies, individual dies sold, start on page 162. And of course our alphabet sets are nice standalone dies. Then there's these borders, this brilliant backgrounds. And as I stated, this is beginning on page 162. And then on page 163, we have the Christmas pine cones, the cracker treat box, the deckled rectangles that many of you have seen me use. And these can go with any stamp set, so that's why I consider them standalone dies. The Give It a Whirl, Gorgeous Garden, absolutely beautiful, beautiful backgrounds. And the Paper Florist. This is basically just a whole bunch of die cuts that you can make flowers out of. The Petaled Patterns and the Patchwork dies. Now the patchwork dies I'm going to use today and show to you. And I hadn't seen them being used out there much, but then there was a demonstrator that made a post on those and used them. And now all of a sudden, this is what happens. They're now sold out. They will be back in stock September the 11th. But let me start off by showing you using the Supremely Awesome stamp set and the patchwork dies, how we're going to make a card today. Now, the first thing I did was I started off cutting with my dies. And I cut two different, this is the same designer series paper. It's just flipped over to the other side. And it's from, I think it's the Brilliant. I'll have to get that for you before I'm finished. I can't remember the name of the cardstock came from, but it's a 6x6, and it's with the Brilliant Birthday Suite, I believe, and it has some gorgeous colors in it. I will definitely confirm that, and if I forget to do it on the video, I will do it in the description. But anyway, I cut out one side face up and then flipped it over and cut out the other. So basically, I can make two different designs. So what I just do at this point, after I do that, I take and I just alternate my pieces. Now, you don't have to do this. This is just something I chose to do. And then you just substitute your two pieces back and forth so that you have every other one. That makes sense. I'm not going to take the time to go all the way around, but that's how I usually start. And then I have enough to make two cards. So I absolutely love that idea. So then I take and make the decision if you want to put it down on a piece of cardstock, if you want to put it down just on the base of your card, however you want to do it. I chose to put it on a piece of cardstock. This is Berry Burst, and I then alternated the pieces and glued them down. I like using liquid glue. I started with, let me verify it. The size of this piece of cardstock, I believe, is 3 3/4. Yes, 3 3/4 by 5. So that gave me a little border around the outside. Now, from the top and the bottom, it's a little bit tighter than it is side to side, but I don't care. So once you lay it down on there, if you wanted it to be all square or rectangle, you could just trim your sides a little bit. You could start with a bigger piece of paper and build it and then cut and trim it down with your paper trimmer. Or you could choose to even make it cockeyed, which I'll show you a copy one that I've done with that. So again, this is down on Berry Burst, and I have my my little pizza guy that I cut out, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I colored him. So I'm going to use the Berry Burst. Since I did a Berry Burst background, I'm going to go ahead and do a Berry Burst. Oops, sorry about that. I like to put a piece of scrap paper underneath. I'm going to do a Berry Burst apron. And I'm going to color his hat with the Berry Burst as well. Now I'm using the dark Berry Burst. If I wanted to get a lot of two-tones in there, I might choose to use the light and then come back with the dark to give me those great shadows and things that you can get done with their blends. And I probably will go ahead and do that with the apron. So I'm going to start with the light Berry Burst down on his apron. And I always go around my edges first, and then I come back and I do a circular motion, usually by coloring it in. Trying my best not to go out of lines, but you know, we all do, and that's okay. What I love about our blends is that you don't see those lines and things when we get done. And I don't know if you use our Stampin' Blends, but we also have what we call a color lifter. So just a real little bit here where I went out of the lines. If I wanted to, I could just add this color lifter to it. It's going to lift that color off of there. It's not going to be gone completely, but it does make quite a bit of difference. Then I'm going to come back in with my dark and give a little bit of shadow around this. And I'm going to color in his cufflinks with the dark. And we're getting near the end of August here, so if you have any of those coupons that you earned back in July and you need to redeem them, I don't know if you remember, with every $50 that you spent, you earned a coupon. Make sure you get those in on an order before the 31st. So that you don't lose that benefit. And we also have a huge kit sale going on, where some kits are up to 30% off, and you don't want to miss out on that. That also is going to end August 31st. If anybody wants to place an order and they don't have a lot that they want to get and they want to save on shipping, I always close my host code on the last day of the month, or sometimes the day before. And I colored those pepperonis with Real Red. So if you want to reach out to me, just make sure I have your order late in the evening on the 29th so that I can place my order. I usually close out my host code on the 30th or the 31st of the month. I'd be happy to add it to my own order, and then you can pick up to save on some delivery. And our blends, talking about our stamping blends, we have our naturals in light, medium, and dark, and they are absolutely fantastic if you like to color in your skin tones. Now, this little guy here, I'm going to make this dark for the wood tray that the pizza's on. But the pizza dough I also made with one of those blends that come in our light, medium, and dark natural blends. So then we have our guy there, and I think I'll maybe do his buttons. I'm going to take a chance, and hopefully I make these circles well, and give him some buttons. A little circle around that black dot. Of course, it doesn't need to be perfect. That's what makes it homemade, right? So there we go. Now we'll add him onto our pizza using Stampin' Dimensionals. Onto our card using Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'll use a couple of those to make sure that he pops. And there's so many cute sayings in this set as well that I absolutely love. Take those little pieces off of there. I do have my August host code posted here. It's always on my Facebook pages and groups, and I will have it in the description for today's video as well. So this time I'm going to go ahead and put that right in the middle there. So this is a more centered look. And then I have stamped "You're Supremely Awesome" on a piece of basic white. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to that. So are you loving this little pizza guy? I think I've seen quite a few demonstrators who's named him Luigi. So there we have that. And then I'll take my glue. This is my liquid glue. And I'm going to put that on my card base of thick basic white. And there we have it. And on the inside, I stamped one of the stamps that says, "Together we make a deluxe combo." Isn't that cute? So now let me show you a few other ones that I made. Now I have to thank so many demonstrators who I got ideas from, the basic start of these cards. Zoe Tant, Patty Bennett, Sandra Berman. So many people gave me, I just went through a whole bunch of demonstrator planning website is a site that we can go to on Facebook that so many people just post ideas for us. And we're all about copying and sharing. And people say, you know, "You're so good at this, you're so artistic." I get my ideas from everyone else. I'm not really that artistic. And I've been doing this for quite a while now. I'm actually coming up on my 20th anniversary next week for being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So as you can see on this one here, I actually did it a little slanted, cockeyed, whatever you want to call it, on my card base. So I didn't make it real uniform. And I love it both ways. And this saying here says, "You've got a piece of my heart." So there's the two cards that I will be giving out as a gift for those that like and comment today's Wow Wednesday. Don't forget you need to both like and comment to win these two cards. Then I'll show you some other ideas I did as well. The stamp in the set that is a black and white checkered. I had just inked it up with black. You can make it whatever color you want. And then I decided to color it in with real red, and that's what I decorated my pizza with, real red as well. And back on this one here, I forgot to color my cheese in. I'll make sure I color that in before I send it out to the winner. And then this one, "You Got a Piece of My Heart." I think this was copied from Sandra Bennett, if I'm not mistaken, Sandy Bennett. Like I said, I got a lot of ideas out here on the group that demonstrators have the opportunity to go to. Slice of pizza with some different toppings on it. I left the blank inside so I can use that appropriately there. And then here's another one. Now this is the other die cut of the patchwork dies. So these are the two pieces that you get. You get the one that flows like this. Let me try to get that light out of there. And then you get the one that has all those pieces like that. So you get those two pieces. And again, those patchwork dies sell for $35, and you can get see those on page 165 of the annual catalog. So this one, you can see I did that on a piece of white cardstock, just separated the slightest little bit in between the patchwork pieces. If I would have separated those a little bit more, I think I would have liked it a little bit better. You would have seen the patchwork style a little bit more. Again, "You're Supremely Awesome." And then this one here about "You've Got a Piece of My Heart," pizza, and I put a heart on there. And I had some designer series paper that had hearts, little hearts in the background. So I just love this set, and I hope you do too. Don't forget again to like and comment for a chance to win. And the cards that you'll win will be these two cards made with the Berry Burst and the Supremely Awesome stamp set, as well as the patchwork pieces dies. Don't forget to redeem those coupons. If you have any of those $5 coupons, you can redeem as many as you have on one order and get that order in before the 31st. And then also check out our kits that we have on sale. Some of them are up to 30% off. And there's a chance of those 2 cards. Don't forget to like and comment. Hope you enjoyed today's Wow Wednesday, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and happy stamping.